And welcome back to the Cavern of Wolong, where we'll be progressing on with this dungeon here. Now we've just completed this little optional section here, which wasn't necessary, but hey, I wanted to do a few side quests. I do like this altar here. Oh no, I just remembered the sort of backstory of a previous area in the game, and that's the swamp of Ikamos, where children were sacrificed and thrown into the water. And after wonder, did this have a similar setup? Who knows? Oh, these bones. And you can sort of see that sort of a purple effect is, yeah, the impaler weapon that Joseph is carrying working. I suppose the ability to drain MP, or whatever it's called, is pretty useful. I mean, you sort of get infinite anyway, because as time progresses, you sort of, you know, your magic refills by itself. But yeah, I suppose whatever saves you some time works. Now something good I sort of know about history, I'm not really an expert, but a little factoid I picked up was the fact that in the old world we used to have myths about half men, half creatures. All these, there are lots of myths about people with one leg and stuff. People with 3 legs, people with 1 leg, people with faces on their chest, people with dogs for heads. And the funny thing is, when Western explorers went to China, the Far East, they asked people about these people, and they said, hey, where do these wolf head people exist? And the people of the Far East were like, oh, don't they exist where you live? That's what we thought. So I thought that was pretty amusing. And because I talked over it, we missed out that sort of epic trap there, where you pull a trigger, and these spugs come out. Now, coming up, we have an enemy which you can't kill per se. Now, first of all, I'd recommend you save before fighting this guy. Not only because it's a bit tricky, but also because he sometimes gives off a very useful item. And of course he doesn't always give off this item, it's random chance, so yeah, save beforehand. Now this guy is a Lych. He can't be killed by fire, ice, electric, or any type of weapons. So yeah, you're faced with a pretty unstoppable enemy. Now one of the ways you can kill him is poison. So if you kept one of the Qatar weapons from the Kosani area of the game, you can poison this guy and that will slowly kill him. But fortunately, if you don't have that, the developers have put that sort of spiked trap in the game. So what you want to do is fight him and then sort of lead him over there. Ooh, nasty. I love that. That's really satisfying to lead him into that trap. And yes, here's the item I wanted to pick up, the Singed Robe. A very hot piece of wardrobe for Rosalind here. A much needed boost to her defense. And somehow this robe, being half singed, makes it more powerful. Because it's singed by magic fire? Question mark? Anyway, it is nice to get a change of outfit for her. So, a nice increase in defense, a lovely colour, and it also boosts her fire ability by 1. You know, something I guess I didn't really take account for was the fact that some items level up your magical abilities. I guess when I was playing this game, planning to play this game out, I didn't really plan it too well because, yeah, essentially I leveled up magic skills which I didn't really need to. But anyway, coming up round this corner. Oh, sorry, I meant the next corner. I was thinking about the original story of the Minotaur. And I was trying to think how Perseus defeated him, and I think Perseus just did it because he was a good warrior. He faced him in unarmed combat. He took the bull by the horns, as it were. Now this Lych here, he was the poor servant of the guy we just killed. And he is so thankful that you did that, he is, well, for a start he gives you some experience for the bone. But he will also guide you through this labyrinth, which is up ahead. Now here's the thing, the labyrinth, for some reason, it's deceptively tricky. And I sort of blame the camera and the lighting, if I'm honest. But yeah, it can be hard to navigate. But first of all, do enter the labyrinth here, and go up and follow the left path to this pool of water. Because this will be quite important for a side quest. What the hell is up with that sound? It's Rosalind. I think she's sort of trying to cast a heal spell, and it just ain't working. She's like trapped on the planes of the floor here. Help! Someone's cast a glitch curse on her. Quick, cast the healing spell of restart the game. Yeah, this sort of worried me because I thought, is she going to be stuck like there for the rest of the level? Would I have to mute the audio? I'm shaking. But fortunately, going into the inventory menu, it solves that little problem. Oh, you've got to love glitches. I'm not sure what caused it, like I think she got stuck on the floor or something. But anyway, I did level up her trip ability because, you know, you never know when that will become useful. But anyway, I took this guy, and this will sort of get you on the way to completing the Fate of Rutgar side quest. Now, just a reminder, Rutgar was one of the famous Karsani warriors who travelled away somewhere and sort of disappeared. And he didn't really meet a fortunate end. He travelled to Arenia, people thought he was a demon, and some evil emperor attacked him to gain his power. Well, in an attempt to gain his power. So, yeah, it's kind of an unfortunate ending to Rutger here. And I thought if they were to do like a prequel to this game, or a game set before Summoner 1, it could be interesting to have Rutger in it. But then again, I guess you would have to have like a human protagonist. But, you never know. Anyway, this is a little side quest here. I mean, the side quest is optional, but by doing it, you're given an insight into this world, you know, to a hero of a people. And that's always nice. You know, it's what flavor text and side quests should do. And this is a game where I guess most of the questing you do is side quests. I think I've made that clear, but yeah, I prefer it that way actually. I mean, don't go stingy on the main story. Don't just make it a game full of side quests. Sort of ignore the main story. But yeah, well, like I said, just I like it in a game when you do something and you don't have to do it. You know, you feel like you've put the effort in yourself, like you've met the game halfway, I suppose. Now, again, you can talk to that guy and he will guide you through the labyrinth, but I managed to find the path. I just thought I'll show off the path here. Essentially, you stick to the right. And for some reason, trying to figure out this path gave me a lot of trouble. And I think it's just down to the fact that I can't really see what I'm doing. And they do give you a map, but you can't really zoom in. There we go. Now down this cavern here we have these enemies called the Rockhull. Not really sure what they're supposed to be. I guess they're meant to be gargoyles or something. I don't know, maybe it's in a Dungeons and Dragons handbook or somewhere. Now, just a reminder of some gameplay mechanics here, is that if you're higher than your enemy, you get a bonus amount of damage done on your attacks. Something to do with gaining the high ground. I have the high ground, I win. And I pointed out because it's very applicable in this section, because at the first point you're going downhill, and the next point you're going uphill. The Phrygus ring, it's sort of the equivalent to the Pyros ring. Equipping that will give you ice resistance. Which honestly I don't put on. I guess it's applicable for this dungeon. But see, at this point we've already faced the majority of the ice witches, so it's not really too important. And honestly, when it comes to bosses in this game, all the magic users, they all tend to use fire-based attacks. So, thanks, I guess. But again, I shouldn't turn my nose up, it is worth selling. Oh, you can just see there that I walk around the enemies and try and get the high ground. Anyway, these enemies, I think they're weak to blunt. I'm not really sure. I think they're just resistant to a lot of things. Although they're not too bad, really. You just gotta grind your way through it. And you saw from the map there, we're actually sort of near the beginning of the dungeon. It does form like a huge circle. Now when playing this, it can take up to an hour and a half to do it. It probably took me a bit longer because I got lost quite a few times. Although I remember when I first played this game, this area got me stuck for like literally a few weeks. You know, not a few weeks constantly playing, but I would like play it for a couple of days and then give up. A week, then try and play it again and give up. And the thing is, it wasn't a particularly difficult part. There's a section here where you have to eat a plant, and I think it just came down to the fact that I couldn't see the area where this plant was hidden. It's sort of tucked away in this area. In fact, I'm trying to... Do I find it here now? You see, I'm looking back at this footage, and it sort of, the cavern twists around, and it's all grey. Yeah, it is... I would say it's quite easy to get lost, or at least I found it quite easy to get lost. And the layout isn't really that complicated. It's all twisty. At least those guys are persistent. But I guess it's my fault that if you look at the river, it does sort of give you an indication of where to go next. And of course, I should point out that backstab also works on skeletal enemies, which I guess is sort of inconsistent. I guess the idea of a backstab is that you're calculating a hit against the person's organs or something. But yeah, he's just a skeleton. Oh, I sneakily stabbed you in the ribs. I've got no organs. Oh, sorry. Now here's an ability which I guess I really should have made use of. There we go. You see, I should have did this before. That really would have helped. Now, the idea of this light ability is that once it's cast over Rosalind, her attacks do more damage or something, or they're getting a higher chance of critical hit. Now, this is what got me stuck before, this area, and it's just not because it's difficult, because I couldn't find it. I would walk up and down this map again and again and just miss this area. You know, is it really that well hidden, or was I just being a bit, should I have paid more attention? Now, just to fill you in, this plant here is the tail of Rocco. And the thing is, this is the same plant which killed Tangrid, the King of Fleas. But apparently if Joseph eats it, it will help heal his hand. So, I'm not sure what we're doing there. I guess it's poetic justice or something. Now again, there's quite a few enemies in this area, so just try not to take them all on all at once. So here is the tail of Ruka, which is yellow. Nom 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 noms. Now I think you only have to eat one for the thing to work. But I remember when I first played this area before, I would eat all the plants just to be on the safe side.